And while the United States is deporting illegal migrants to some African countries, it is also forging new ties with others. Now, in the latest, the US has signed a key security agreement with Algeria, which has been traditionally closer to Russia. Last week, the US and Algeria's military leaders signed a new Defense Memorandum of Understanding, or MoU. The agreement seeks closer collaboration between the troops of both countries. They intend to collaborate on areas like maritime security, counterterrorism, military training, and military healthcare initiatives. Though typically for the Pentagon, MoUs are legally non-binding and only describe intentions. The US officials have called this agreement one of its kind and a major shift in Algerian foreign policy. Algeria, the largest nation in Africa, has had closer ties to Moscow since the Soviet era. To this day, as well, it continues to rely on Moscow for a lot of its military equipment. But lately, Algiers has had some doubts regarding this relationship. The reason? Russia's growing influence in Africa's Sahel region. Now, Algeria borders the conflict-ridden states of the Sahel region, which is a center of Islamist insurgency, political instability, violence, and food insecurity. Russia has increased its influence in the junta-led nations of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Its troops are also present here fighting insurgency. But Russia's warming up to Sahel juntas has irked Algeria. Now, Sahel juntas, particularly Mali, accuse Algeria of supporting separatist rebels in its north. Algiers considers the growing coups a threat to regional instability, and also the presence of Russian mercenaries, which it believes is bolstering juntas. Russia has also been slow producing and supplying defense systems to Algeria amidst its war with Ukraine. So now it is reconsidering its ties with Moscow. US officials say the latest deal with Algeria was on the cards for some time, but Algiers kept on delaying it. But now Algeria has agreed to collaborate with the US, and they are calling it the Trump effect. Algeria reportedly is keen to build ties with US President Donald Trump, even though his last term was not very good for it. Now, in his last term, Trump prioritized ties with Algeria's neighbor and rival Morocco. Algeria backs separatists in Western Sahara, a territory claimed by Morocco, and Trump recognized Morocco's sovereignty over Western Sahara in exchange for it normalizing ties with Israel. Now, this came as a big jolt for Algeria, but it now reportedly wants to overcome the barriers with Trump, and hosting US military officials is a big signal toward that. Some also believe that the US-Algeria cooperation can spill over into other domains and could lead a narrow rapprochement between Algeria and Morocco. After all, the US president wants to be remembered as a peacemaker.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually.
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.